Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to play with Christy's Beautiful Life, Series 12, 30 Days of Sketches. Today is Sketch 21 from Crystal Barrett at Pineapple Papers. This is an exclusive sketch, and today I'm only going to play with my scraps and that one piece of white cardstock. So I'll bring in some of my stash for a couple embellishments and some inks and some stamps. And yeah, so I'm also going to do a flip with these three pictures of my oldest. She's about 5-ish here. I'm going to have to look it up for the date, but so I'm going to set this up first for the corners because in Crystal's sketch, she's got the corners torn on the top and bottom. So I'm just taking this piece of scrap, which I have on some other pages of my daughter, about the same time actually. And so I'm just gonna figure out where I want it. I want some of the middle showing. Kind of works out okay. Right now it looks like a lot of white space, and as I'm doing my layers it feels like a lot of white space, so it is what it is. And so I am wanting to double border my pictures just to make them pop, especially with all the layering that is in the sketch and that I plan on doing with all my scraps. And so this is going to be the bottom one. And then I'm just going to take a piece of, this is actually computer paper, and I'm just going to add a flippy flap. And so it's just going to get lined up on the back here with where that fold is. And then that gives me the opportunity to put the black one on, like this piece of black cardstock on top. And then mat it with the white again. And then I missed cutting one piece of black. So my pictures are 3x4s. So the white piece is 3 and an eighth by 4 and an eighth. And the black piece is 3 and a quarter by 4 and a quarter. So it gives just the tiniest hint around the picture. That looked a little crooked to me, but it's just gonna have to wait. And as you notice, I didn't adhere that black one on all the way because I want to do a tab to be able to lift it or to show that there's maybe something there that can be lifted. So there's my flip flap all done. I needed to do the flip flap first because it's going to go on top of all the layers. And so then I'm playing with this tag from the dollar store. And so I have two of them because they came with two in the booklet, and I'm just going to cut it apart because I don't need all of it. And then I'm just going to line it up for where I want it on the front side here in between those two black pieces. I'm going to line it up here, and then didn't quite get the hole straight, which is what I really could want more. And so there we go. And then I can seal that up because now I've got my tab to pull. My tab takes place on the bottom um, instead of the paper clip that's on Crystal's sketch because I didn't put a paper clip on here. So, and then I thought I'd use this one green piece. It's not going to use this green butterfly piece is in lots of my oldest scrapbook pages when she's little, so I'm going to use that piece. The one I just tore is a piece of packaging. This one is from a 6x6 paper pad, just a scrap piece. There's stuff cut out of it. This is from my calendar. I don't have a notebook punch, so I'm going to use this top piece. So I've saved all of those little bits from this pocket calendar. Um, this is from my packaging from my journal. So I have a Dana Wakely. Dina Wakely? Oh, I can't today. Anyways, her journal piece, and then just different layering. I like the layers. I think they're fun. It is not going to end up like this when it's done, because I'll pull it all off and then redo it all. I like the way this looks, but meh. I decided the white was too white. I could have just done splatters, but I do stamping too. Um, in a minute. So I'm just lining that up on each side of this one for that piece of packaging. think it's Studio Calico packaging that I'm using, and I just have a little piece left of it, but oh, maybe not. It looks like pattern paper. Some of their packaging looks like that too. I thought about that hexie. I'm not going to use that hexie. I'm going to try and get some more of the notebook paper in, and then I decide that the pink needs a little more definition, and I have this little bit of this photo play paper left. Like literally this is all this black and white I have left. On the other side there's a whole bunch of bee stuff, and so I use the bee stuff on some other pages. And so I'm just getting it situated so I can work on both sides. I just took my water and sprayed that a little bit because I want to ruffle it up and not have so much white, but I do get rid of a little bit more of it by tearing because there's a lot of white torn edge there. And I'm going to use all of this I can because I really like the black polka dot. Just deciding if I liked it, needed a little more, and so I'm just going to tape down that edge so that I can sneak this in with the tape for where I want it, and then I'll sneak this piece in. And get that one in. When I got it down, there was just a little piece of white cardstock showing through the one spot, so I didn't want that. So, and then just glue in the corners, that one down, do this corner, and do the same kind of process. So sliding it in and getting it going. This one's going to overlap a little bit. And just ruffling it up a little bit. Getting it skewered, and then that's when I decided I want just a little bit more in this spot here where there's an overlap, and then in the top spot, this bottom spot, nope, the top spot, I was right. So just sliding these itty little bitty pieces in. That just gives a little something. And then I run off and find some ink. So I have a couple different color theories I'm going to try out, and this Recollections Ombre. So that one was way too dark. This lime one from Color 3 I could have used, but when I do the ombre, I've got a little of that greeny blue in my layers. So it ties that in, and then it ties the green in, and just everywhere. There's one white spot there that I have to come back later and do another stamp for, and that one didn't stamp very nicely, but right there, you see the big white spot. I will notice it later. And then I thought maybe I wanted a little bit of pink in between those, but when I look at it, I'm like, nope, I don't. I thought maybe overlapping them, but I didn't want to go through all of the bother of masking. So I went and found a different stamp. So there's this stamp set from, both were from Studio Calico, and it had this little geometric butterfly that you can kind of see. I didn't like it, but there's these plus signs, and I'm just gonna messily stamp without my block for these ones because I want it to be messy and everywhere. Just taking a look and going, nope, I need more, like literally everywhere. So it looks a little messy right now, but after I get splatters on, after all my layers are done, I drop that piece on. So you get to see kind of like weird stretch. Yay! And now I'm just going to adhere. So I know all the pieces that I kind of want, they're not going back in the same spot. And then this piece of packaging from that journal has got a plasticky texture to it, so it's really hard to ruffle up. And there. This pink one. This one is piece of packaging. It's going to slide there. notebook paper. Which side? Which side? I do faff a lot about on this, but I thought about this dark one, but it's not going to make the cut. I thought about that one, it's not going to make the cut. I thought about the notebook paper up there. Then I pull in this little piece of craft polka dot, which I really like. It brings a little bit of brown in, um, which is in some of the other powder papers. Just trying to get my glue pen to work because I tried to use my tape on it and it just tore the paper. So just going to get another piece here. And then this piece is going to go on the bottom too. And it's from that same craft paper. So I think I get most of that one used up, if not all. I just had a tiny piece left. And then I'm going to use this packaging. It's from Jen Hatfield's The Avenue for one of her, I think her sticker book or something. And it makes a good mat for all of it. So it's just going to go in and I could just get a little bit covered up. I was just seeing what length it is because it is, or width it is. It's a weird width, but it's kind of funny that weird width fits my photo out really well. And so I'm just going to slide those two pieces underneath because why not? And I was like, oh, that's not quite where I want it, but it's not going to come up and I don't want to rip my paper, so I'm going to have to deal with it. Which just means that I'm going to offset my picture of my daughter, and then that's when I noticed that white spot. So I go grab my stamp here real quick again and pop it there because you won't see it, but you see enough of it that kind of needed a little bit there. But and then this piece came off and the other packaging came off, so I didn't really worry about it. And then I pulled out my 4x6 or my 4-inch wide, sorry, scrapbook.com adhesive because I really want this adhered to the page really well. I don't want it to go anywhere, so I just do a big piece of that because that'll hold this in place really well. And then that gets down offset. And I do know that I lost that other piece, but I'm going to put my title on, which is Let's Go, which fits right there now that that other piece is not there. And I'll fill in that little bit that came off. And I'm just using my tweezers. These are dollar store letter stickers, so they are pretty sticky, but they're not very thick. So once is usually what you get. We are adhering the tag down, and then I want to put a lot of this in. So I thought it might go a little longer, but I want it to be a bit bulky, and so I'm just going to tie it in a knot and cut all those pieces. And I like how bulky that is today. Normally I don't like that much, but that tag hole has a big hole and it's just fun. So I'm going to take this yellow orange piece for the packaging and I'm just trying to scuff it up just a little bit, which I do end up being able to do on this one, but it's not the easiest because it is that packaging that has a plastic in it. So this is going to slide in here, and then I'm going to slide a little bit more notebook paper in. And a little bit on the top here, just to fill in that gap a little bit. Trying that back piece, and I know I don't want it on there, but I do want it on there. And so now I'm going to do just the tiniest bit of embellishing. So this is a rubber piece, and I think it was from actually the Grow collection from Ali Edwards, and it says love, and then this postage stamp, which is either from Studio Calico or Ali Edwards, and then I think these stories as well. And this one is from either one of those two companies. I don't remember which. And so I want this postage stamp just at the bottom to anchor that circle. And then a couple of really light green stars, and then I'm going to do some other enamel dots in the same kind of limey green. And then I'll get a couple of stars as well, just to make sure that there's 3 stars in each spot. So move that one around a little bit. And now I'm just going to do some splatter. So this one is Granite from Tattered Angels. This one is Charcoal, which is kind of like a black, but not quite, but it's got some good sparkle. And then I wanted this green one, which is Green Apple from Color Theory. So this is a Studio Calico one. And I'm like, yeah, put that down. I'm like, I'm going to knock this over. Look at me, almost knock it, and almost knock it. There it goes. So I was like, oh man. So in that bottom corner, there is a wet wipe, and I just grabbed my art journal, and I'm just going to move this ink right into here with this wet wipe so that I don't waste all of this. Because, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Okay, and then I'm going to go wash real quick, and when I come back, and then I'll come back and I'll dry it real quick with my dryer. And so I cut that out because, yeah. And because my art journal is out, I decided I might as well give you a preview. So some of these were done in classes. Some of these I did on my own. This one I put in upside down because whatever. That one was done obviously at Christmas time. Just some fun little things. Playing with different techniques. Those were all classes. This one was a class. This was not a class. That one was fun to do. This was a class. This was not. This was actually wrapping paper. This was a class. And this one. And that's what's in there. And here's some close-ups. So hopefully you enjoyed my video today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. In a second here, you'll have a subscribe and another video that you might like. Thank you so much for spending your time today. Well, this one was a little long, but have a great day. Oh, she's so cute. Just some of those layers. And here it is in the full. And thanks again for watching. Have a great day.